He came
Shout
out with
out to
his
Gilbert
top 10
Arenas.
list.
Gil's
Going nuts.
Arena.
I'm just going to read it to you, no
Type
particular
shit.
order.
Oh, God.
No, please show it.
Jerry West, Oscar Robertson, Elgin Baylor, Will Chamberlain, Bill Russell, Michael Jordan, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Magic Johnson, Karl Malone, Tiny Archibald.
Man, this man ain't got.
Now, I will say, from what I know with Dr. J, he has had the same all-time list since like the 90s, early 2000s. My question to Dr. J is, why did you stop updating? Like, why did you stop updating when you did? You know what I'm saying? Because if you look at the list, he kept on going post-retirement. MJ was a player that played post-retirement. You know what I'm saying? So was he only looking at players like he played against? Like, if I played against you, you made the cut, and if not, type shit. Like, you're not going to make the cut, but we'll see.
Got Tim Duncan on here.
So he said he left Kobe, he left Kobe, LeBron, and Steph off the list.
Fuck, they ain't got Tim Duncan on there.
I'm just, Dr. J.
Listen, he don't have LeBron James.
Yo, but you got Karl Malone on. No, but his argument was, hold on. His argument was,
I don't like Dr. J.
the guys who we don't have on there, some of the guys who you don't have on there are still playing.
That list just
That's the
let me know
argument he
who
tried
he
to
is.
make. Tim Duncan ain't played in years.
Yeah, Tim Duncan ain't played in years. Kobe hasn't played in years, bro. And at this point, I understand LeBron is still playing, but come on, bro. If LeBron retired today, if LeBron retired the year before this year, he would still be in this conversation. Like, at some point, bro. Like, come on, bro.
Tim Duncan got 5 rings. Karl Malone ain't got not.
That list right there let me know what type of person he is.
No, that lets you know how old he is.
The nigga doesn't have cable. He got dial-up.
You don't have LeBron James?
He probably ain't watched the game since what, 90-fucking-3.
You don't have LeBron James on your list? We don't have
basketball
98,
since
98.
that list don't have nothing to
Karl
do with
Malone's
LeBron
in
James.
there.
I have nothing to talk about.
That list ain't got nothing to do with no player after 90-fucking-5.
The doc. The
Like,
doc.
now think about
the
it.
doc.
Turn this shit off
It
and
said
put on
Dr.
Golden Girl.
J. It needs to be
This man got
Dr.
Tiny Archibald.
Taking his name.
But
Dr.
what
what?
I'm saying is, think
Dr.
about it.
what?
Like, really think about it. Look at the players.
Yeah.
They was old enough. They're young enough to be when he first started retiring and still probably looking. He probably ain't looked at the game in 30-something years.
Do you think Dr. J has league pass?
Hey,
No.
yo, hey,
You're not
hey,
paying for that shit.
hey, yo, is that how he said it in order too?
He said in no order.
But
We always say no
listen,
order.
Hey, but listen, I'm for sure he did not say Michael Jordan in the top 5. When he mentioned the names, I bet you he didn't say Michael Jordan in the
He
top
Dr.
5.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, Bill Russell, Jerry West, Oscar Robertson, Kareem, Mike. Let me see. Moses Malone. Like, all right, bro.
I'm pretty sure he said it just like that.
Look. Yeah, look. I mean, he got Mike coming off the bench. And they got Mike coming off.
No, man.
No, I'm just saying, like, if you look at but that makes sense. If you have somebody do it today, right, and they will do it in most of those. I mean, Michael Jordan
so
be in there.
Of this list, who would be on your list for
Top 10?
10? Top 10 NBA players of all time.
Yeah, like how many
the
coming
big
off?
O, the big O,
Okay?
Wilt,
Why did they start
MJ,
Oh.
Kareem, Magic.
You're not fucking with Tiny Archibald, Gil?
So that's 5, right?
No, Bill.
I'm not, man, stop with the Bill Russell bullshit, man. They motherfuckers
that's
had an AAU program.
They smeared doo-doo on his wall.
Man, it was 5 6 teams
They
when he
smeared
played.
doo-doo on his wall, Gil.
So 5 out of his 10.
Motherfucker,
Right?
he was a
Doo-doo.
Home fans.
Niggas was getting hung.
Home fans.
So,
I'm just saying.
all right.
They needed him to get buckets.
So we
They had
got
to find
5,
that
right?
balance.
So of his, you got 5.
Some
Wait, I mean, wait, hold on.
So therefore,
Oscar,
He had some 60s guys in there, though, right? Am I bugging?
Have y'all watched extensive Elgin
So it's
Baylor
5.
footage?
Right? Mm-hmm. That's, so
I
Hold
don't
on.
want to do what you're trying to do.
I just want to make sure. Essentially, the reason why Bill Russell is not in his top 10 is because he played in segregation basketball, right? Like, that's what he said. But he also said literally like 2 minutes before that like Oscar Robertson is in there and like Jerry West and them. At that point, I ain't gonna lie, just say you don't like the fact that Bill Russell isn't elite offensively. Like, they literally played in the same era. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy.
no. To add
I
on,
know you're trying to maybe do the other 5.
that's easy. That's easy.
The other 5? Nah, that I got is Tim Duncan,
Okay,
Shaq,
okay,
Kobe,
okay,
LeBron,
okay.
Steph.
Stop.
Okay.
What about Hakeem?
Stop. That's enough.
What
That's
about
enough.
Hakeem?
Okay.
That's enough.
Hakeem Olajuwon got
Or you
lucky.
can replace Hakeem.
Hakeem Olajuwon
You
got
can-
lucky because Mike
You can
retired.
saying? No, but Hakeem still.
Other way around type shit. Let me chill.
No, you can't.
No, Hakeem-
Please don't
No,
do
no,
that.
no.
We ain't fuck his
the
rings.
rings.
Damn his rings.
I'm talking about the ring.
Damn his
Fuck the
rings.
rings.
No, I know. I'm
Damn
talking
his
about.
rings.
You talking about Hakeem? Hakeem got 2.
It seems like a guy that doesn't get the respect he
But
deserves.
damn
I
his
don't know if he
rings.
needs to be in top 10.
Talking about work?
So Hakeem Olajuwon would be in the top 10 if he didn't even have rings?
Absolutely.
Okay. So is he in your top 10?
He wanted
He
to
was
put
not
it.
maimed.
Okay. So I mean,
But you can take.
is he in
But
your
I
top?
start moving. But I start moving.
Wait, hold on. Is he in your top 10 or not? Because you just said if he's in your, even if he didn't have the ring, he'd be in your top 10.
Hey.
Certain guys will have him in the
Hey,
top
hey,
10.
hey.
You know what I'm saying?
It's a
Certain
nigga
guys have
inside
him-
for 10.
No, is he that good? Because if
Hakeem?
not, then he can watch out. And that whole Houston.
So you on this
Back-
list,
back-
you got.
No, he's top 15, 100% sure.
No, but
With
not
the
top
rings
10,
or not rings?
But not top 10.
You got to take Wilt, Kareem,
Wilt,
and Shaq.
Kareem and Shaq,
Wilt, Kareem, and Shaq.
You don't.
hands down.
No Magic?
No, I'm talking about fives.
No, we're talking about the 5.
Five.
My
I'm talking
hands
about
up.
the fives. Wilt, Kareem,
What is
Shaq.
Carmelo?
No,
about
no.
Joker?
Chad, my hand is up. My hand is my hand is up. I ain't gonna lie. The only person that Hakeem doesn't really have any business, like really being in debates for real, is really Kareem. That's it. Everyone else, personally, I'd say Bill Russell's over him. But we can have that two-way dominance with Hakeem and Bill Russell. With Wilt, don't get me started on Wilt. With Shaq, this the only, I swear to God, the Hakeem and Shaq conversation is the only conversation. Even like ballers and people who play basketball for real, they just want to keep ignoring that head-to-head matchup where Hakeem dominated Shaq. That's the only time that like people want to scoff that shit. Like in any other scenario, if Kobe dogged LeBron in 09 in the finals, bro, these same dudes right here, like Hoopers would be really bringing that shit up, man. Hey, when it came to head to head, man, I ain't gonna lie, Kobe or LeBron, we saw the results. They'd be bringing that shit up every single day. But when it comes to Shaq and Hakeem, for some reason, it's like, I mean, I get it, but Shaq was young. Okay, bro. Okay.
Wilt, Kareem, Shaq.
Top 20?
Carmelo,
Top who? 20?
20?
Yes.
Not for sure, top 20.
Yes.
What's up with the Karl Malone shit, bro?
Nah, I don't know that to
okay.
be accurate.
No.
I mean, everybody else, yeah. I mean, I can agree with top 5, but
Jerry
Like, I don't
West.
Look, I get Bill Russell, 11 rings. I get you people trying to.
Jerry West.
But
nah.
listen, Wilt and Bill played in the same
You
era.
have Kobe Bryant on your list, and you got Jerry West on this list. Come on, man. This man.
that's what I'm saying. The Doc's been around. But Dr. J been around
But you're
enough to
trying.
know.
But
man high.
he ain't watched the last 30 years.
But
There's
still,
nobody.
No, he has watched the last
Gil,
for sure.
Gil,
For sure.
Gil, whether this man watched or not, nobody in their fucking right mind,
He's watching, bro. Come on,
can
Gil, he's
say
watching.
that on any top 10 list, give a fuck if he the logo or not, that Jerry West deserves to be on the top 10 list over Kobe Bean Bryant. I don't care. No, whether you watch the game or not.
LeBron James.
I'm saying?
But what I'm saying is,
LeBron James gave us 20 years of greatness.
it tells you that he has not watched basketball.
So why
I would've
are
made
you
the
at the
argument.
why are you at the
There's
All-Star
argument,
games
though.
and shit? Why are you doing anything?
Because they bringing them old niggas. Hey, come on,
He doing the goddamn.
Ask Kareem to do his top 10. I guarantee you look as goofy as this one does.
I bet
LeBron James better
I think
be
it'd
in
be more
that.
honest.
LeBron James better be. Huh?
I think Kareem Melissa be better, more honest than this.
Kareem List would be way better than that.
I think Kareem Melissa be more honest.
Dr. J
than
been
that.
around the game too long to be doing that
Yeah,
shit,
that's-
man.
I
I'm
agree.
sick of the bullshit.
Yeah,
I'm sick of this
Kareem's
shit.
list
I
is
am
all
sick of it.
Kareem.
I am sick of the bullshit.
Okay, Brandon.
Dylan.
Bullshit.
Like serious. Like when people have
This is not
but I
fair
think
to the
Kareem
basketball
List be better.
guy.
Now, when people have Bill Russell in there in the top 10, I got to question your basketball knowledge. I'm sorry, because him and Wilt played in the same era. One averaged 50 and 30 rebounds, the other one averaged 16 and 20 rebounds, which means one was just a hustle player. Like you.
You know what? Hey, I never played basketball, so I guess I got Chad. I got to default to the Hoopers, man. Chat. I got to default to the Hoopers. If I'm saying, like, once I start bringing analytics, I'm gonna look like the nerd. I'm gonna look like the dude that's never played basketball before. So, hey, listen, bro. I'm gonna leave it up to the Hoopers. All I'm saying is, I ain't even gonna say it. I'm gonna leave it up to the Hoopers. Big hoop. Big hoop. Come on, bro. Come on, man.
You hustled against white folks.
Look at that.
And all you can score was 16 points a game. Like, you couldn't even break 20, and you want me to put you in the top 10.
Of all
Everybody's
time.
5-10,
Of all time.
and there's only 8 teams, and you're playing against the white folks, right? And you, like, I'm looking at, like, then how hard was the league? And then I was like, who else was in the league? Then I looked at Wilt. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Black man doing what black men do.
That's-
50 fucking points a game. He can't be stopped. Why are you trying to break 20? You couldn't get 10. Like, come on.
Yeah.
That means they never pass you the fucking ball.
I'm with you.
Yeah, no,
He was right.
Racism was alive and well.
Man,
They
But what
wanted-
I'm
they
saying, no,
wanted
what I'm
to
saying,
get them
think about what I'm
numbers.
saying. You are the only, you were athletic as fuck, and you only averaged 16 to 18 points. Meaning they couldn't just give you the ball and say, go score on white folks.
Yeah.
That jump just, you couldn't do that. You couldn't do that.
when they took Duncan out.
Nah, I'm sorry.
Hey, when
I
they
give a fuck
took-
how
Right,
many
they got that one highlight of him coming
Hey, this is. Hey, man. Hey.
down off the break.
Hey, when they took Duncan out, right?
You couldn't do that that's 20 points a game.
He could probably do it. He's playing in Boston, though. It's like
Man.
16, boy. That's what we'll let you
11
have.
rings makes sense. There was no free agency.
Tariq, that's crazy. It's a crazy. Yo, I know y'all see it in the bottom left of my screen. That's a crazy chat, bruh.
You can only draft and trade. It was just draft and trade, right? You guys had this amazing team. It's easy to dominate.
Yeah.
It is easy to dominate.
Not having
I mean,
LeBron James or Steph Curry on this list is just blasphemy.
We got.
like, I'm
Like, I'm gonna just call him Jay when I see him.
Like, I had to go.
I ever see him, Jay. Hey, Jay.
Like, I had to start
Jay.
Googling. I had to start Googling.
No, you
I had to
call
start Googling the history.
No,
Mr. J.
No, you
Mr.
call
J.
no, you call him by his name.
No, I know.
Hey,
Julius.
Julius.
Hey, Julius, let me
Julius,
talk to you,
let me
bro.
talk to you for a
Hey,
minute.
listen. Hey, y'all can say what y'all want.
I just find it weird, and this is what I say. I think they're essentially they're just gonna end up clowning Dr. J, for being an old head, bro. I just find it weird that you looked at that list, and like out of everything wrong with it, there's so many conversation points we can go to, just old heads and how they view the game. We could have talked about how is Kobe not in there, how's LeBron not in there. Out of all the debates you could have had, you had a Bill Russell versus Wilt debate. Out of all the debates you could have had, you had a Bill Russell versus Wilt Chamberlain debate. All I'll say is, man, if there is, I'm gonna say this, in my opinion, the most disrespected NBA legend out of everyone, it has to be Bill Russell. It gotta be Bill Russell, in my opinion. The most underrated, gotta be Bill Russell. Now, some might deadass look at me like, underrated? He's in the top 10 conversations. But I'm talking about the amount of people that just look at Bill Russell and just say, no way in the 60s he couldn't score 20. And that's how you view his career. And the fact that he couldn't score really like irks you like that. I think that's the reason why he's underrated. Like, He's either properly in the top 10 to like what I would say sound people making sound arguments, or he's just not in the top 50 at all because he couldn't score in the 60s. You know what I'm saying? And all I gotta say is, man, there's footage out there of Wilt deadass saying that Bill Russell is better than him. There is footage out there deadass saying that of Wilt saying that if he played like Bill Russell, he would have had a more successful career. That's all I'm gonna say. You know what I'm saying? I just think the Wilt versus Bill discussion is the most extreme of both ends when it comes to how we view players. Like, one dude literally spent a portion of his career being the most heliocentric player in the league, being the biggest stat patter in the league. And the other dude literally sacrificed all of that for the sake of winning. And we have not seen a more drastic difference in that dynamic than Bill Russell and Wilt Chamberlain ever since. Ever since then, when we talk about players that did that, the closest thing was probably Kobe Bryant and Tim Duncan, because I do think Tim Duncan gets disrespected in a lot of these discussions. All troll aside, because y'all know how I feel about Tim Duncan, because of his stats not popping out of the screen, when in reality, he had all the skill in the world to put up 27 and 10 for 10 years straight. You know what I'm saying? But he took that step back so Manu Ginobili can come into the scene, so that Tony Parker could come into the scene. He bought into a system so Greg Popovich can actually, you know, coach a team properly type shit. You know? So Kawhi Leonard can come in properly. Bill Russell did that. The only reason we have these conversations about Bill Russell playing with 7 Hall of Famers is because out of those 7 Hall of Famers, 3 of them motherfuckers are in the Hall of Fame just because they played with Bill Russell. I'm going to keep it a stack. It's kind of like in the current age, the only reason Draymond Green is in Hall of Fame discussions is because he's playing with Steph Curry. Let's keep it a stack. Sorry. Chat, am I tripping? Am I tripping? That's all I gotta say with Bill Russell. Not too much on Bill Russell. A top 3 defensive player of all time, in my opinion, was a trendsetter for a lot of the things that we're seeing in the NBA right now. Defensive versatility from big men, the ability to run transition with a big man, initiating transition plays and fast breaks with a big man. A lot of that shit started with Bill Russell. A lot of that shit was perfected by Bill Russell. And we talk about playoff risers, a lot of that I won't say a lot of that shit started with Bill Russell. Bill Russell is one of the greatest. Passing, being valued from the big man position, a lot of that started with Bill Russell. That's all I'm going to say. And also, even just from an impressive accolade standpoint, listen, bruh, those last 2 years, Bill Russell was the player coach of his team. Player coach of his team. Didn't have a coach. He was the coach. He was also the best player on those teams. Arguably. But, you know, he was still one of the forefront leaders of that team, and he was the head coach. Meanwhile, Wilt Chamberlain teamed up with Jerry West and Elgin Baylor in their prime, while Wilt Chamberlain was still Wilt Chamberlain. He wasn't no scrub. And he still couldn't beat Bill Russell and the Celtics on their home court in a Game 7. All I'm going to say is, bro, if that shit happened today, chat, deadass, imagine if that shit happened today. Imagine if KD went to the Warriors, the Cavs fired Tyronn Lue, and hired LeBron James as a player coach, and in 2017, KD still lost to LeBron? Chat, we be going crazy. Like dead ass. like dead ass. Not even on some KD dick suck shit. Imagine if that shit happened. Or that actually fucking happened in the 60s. And, you know, it's because it's the 60s. We just like the But that's the truth. That's what actually happened. Not too much on Bill Russell. All right. Rest in peace to a legend. It's not even on some Celtics dick suck. I've always said in the past, I really don't care about Celtics lore post 08. I'm a post 08 Celtics fan. You know? But it is what it is.